political maps. There's a wonderful professor here, Mark Newman. He teaches both in the physics department and in an interdisciplinary program called Complex Systems. And after the 2016 election, he saw a bunch of maps trying to say how divided the country is or what certain political leanings are. And he said, look, we can't just assume that there's only one map to tell these stories. So he wanted to play around and show how you can describe the same thing in different ways. So if we look on the map on the right, we have an understanding that blue states, typically small in area. If you look at this is the returns from the election in 2016, and you're just going by how big the state is and whom they voted for, you're going to see the blue states as very small in area. He says that's not the only way to describe the United States. You could have a map that says we want to show population. And then the map looks like that. The view of the world changes a little bit. We don't just have wide swaths of one party and wide swaths of another party. You have this intermixing. That might change your view of the world. So this is what's called a cartogram. When you're going outside of just land, when you're making a map, you're thinking about population, GDP. It's going to change our view of the world. He pushes it one step farther. And he says, look, this is just by state. That's one view. A different view is, what if we focus by county? If we go by county and area, then red looks a lot bigger. There's a lot of space in these red states. If we switch it over to by county, by population, we get a different view. Because some of the cities who are blue have a lot of folks in them. He doesn't stop there. He says, that's just too binary, because that shows if it's a 51-49 state, it shows up as the same thing as a 95-5 state. And that might not be representative of the world. So he says, let's go by percentages. If we look at it by area, then we get purple. And we don't get quite the division that we get when we were just going winner takes all type representation. We go with the population, again, a kind of purple thing. And so you're imagining, if you want to paint a vision of what the United States looks like in 2016, you have a decision to make. Which map are you going to show people? Again, getting back to this idea. People don't choose between things. They choose between descriptions of things.